Hello ladies and gentlemen, TvP here coming at you with a PvT on Neoplanet S. This is going to be between two Grandmaster players on the North American server. Spawning in the top right position is going to be from EGiNcontroLRC. It is EGiNcontrol. And spawning in the bottom left position as the blue Terran player is going to be playing from ROOT.Theognis. So, TvP recently released this replay pack of some games that he'd been playing on the North American servers. So, a lot of great games. Just some great players here, of course. TvP, one of the more recent additions to Root. Very strong North American Terran. So, should be a really good game. If you guys are wondering where exactly I'm going to be going with these casts, of course, going to do some more dedicated games on my YouTube channel. So if you guys like this video, of course, please subscribe. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this cast. I'm going to be trying to do at least one or two every day or so. Just get out some constant stuff. But for now, it looks like TvP is going to be opening up with a barracks. In Terran versus Protoss and Heart of the Swarm, the matchup's gotten really interesting. A lot of gas openers have become viable. Largely in the pro scene, we have seen a lot of delayed gas, about 15 supply for expands, as well as Reaper play. So it should definitely be interesting to see where TvP wants to take this game. And he's actually going to go for a pretty early gas at about 14 supply in his main base. It's not the fastest gas possible, but it's not quite as late as the standard one for a Widowmine expand. So should be interesting to see what he does. EGiNcontrol, on the other hand, pretty standard opening so far, getting his gateway, follow up with the gas. No super fast second gas. A lot of Protoss players have been going double gas at 15 supply to go for fast proxy, Stargate, and Heart of the Swarm, but nothing like that just yet. TvP is now going to begin his Marine production. EGiNcontrol getting here with a probe is going to be able to spot this gas from TvP, so he needs to be a little bit worried. He's actually going to immediately throw down an assimilator on TvP's gas, pretty much to keep him from going for anything like fast Banshee, going for a Hellbat drop, or going for any really kind of fast Widowmine drop play. So it's not going to be terribly effective in terms of slowing down a regular expand-based build, since a lot of these builds don't rely on getting a really fast second gas. But TvP will get in EGiNcontrol's base and see that he is going to actually take his second gas now that he started the Cybernetics core. So EGiNcontrol could be looking to get a little bit aggressive now, chrono boosting out that Stalker, wants to shut down the SCV, and TvP is going to get out of there very, very quickly. There is a probe position, beginning a proxy pylon, so we could actually end up seeing some sort of proxy tech, or possibly just really, really fast aggression out of EGiNcontrol. But TvP, bringing his Reaper up, is going to immediately spot this. Great catch there from our Terran player. And EGiNcontrol's proxy will be shut down. He's going to keep that pylon alive, but Gas Geyser is going down. TvP is going to be starting his command center in his natural expansion. So, not going to be going any kind of crazy one-base play. SCV is going to come over here. The Reaper, of course, would take so long to kill this pylon, it's not worth it. He wants to use it to scout and head around towards EGiNcontrol's base, but the Stalker is positioned, ready to catch that Reaper if he gets too close. The Mothership Core is out as well, so EGiNcontrol can shut down that Reaper a little bit more easily if he tries to duck around to the side, and he will try to do that. He's coming in now. Mothership Core takes a shot. Reaper health regeneration is not yet triggered yet, so if the Stalker moves over to the right side, it can catch the Reaper, but it is going to be able to make it into the main base. No tech started yet for EGiNcontrol, so TvP doesn't have too much to see, but at the same time, he's going to pick off that pylon in the bottom left, and the Stalkers might barely be able to get this Reaper. It's only got 8 hit points left. He barely grabs it. Reaper goes flying across the ground, and the expansion starts for EGiNcontrol. So TvP sees the double gas. He knew there was a proxy pylon. He took it out, but he didn't see the expansion go down, which is pretty significant because he's not 100% sure that EGiNcontrol isn't hiding possible gateways somewhere, or even proxies tech in a different location once his pylon was spotted. So he needs to be very careful, but he's going to go down and now check out the third base area to see if there's anything hidden. And we're going to have a robotics facility for EGiNcontrol. So going for a pretty standard Wings of Liberty transition from a fast expand, but he's going to push up with these two Stalkers and this Mothership Core, try to put on a little bit of pressure, but he's not going to be able to hit anything on the high ground here using the vision from the Mothership Core. He's going to be forced back. A very well-placed bunker by TvP to defend this. Almost building a second bunker there, but now he has that SV moving around his scout. Will he be able to see? EGiNcontrol knows that TvP has a Widowmine as well as a factory. The reactor about to finish on the barracks, and a starport now completing for TvP. So he could be looking to get a little bit aggressive here with Medivacs. Of course, they have the speed boost, but now TvP gets in, sees the expansion from EGiNcontrol, right about to finish. So He knows there's no crazy aggression coming. The sentry throws on a force field to keep the SCV from scouting what EGiNcontrol has, and he does not know that he has the robotics facility. So a good block there from EGiNcontrol, keeping TvP out of his base, denying as much information as he can. Now Observer moving down for EGiNcontrol, basically going to make sure that there's nothing crazy going on outside the natural expansion. He knows that there could be a drop coming, so he needs to keep the Observer at home, at least until he has a second one out in the event that there is a Widow Mine drop. As well as being able to spot any kind of drop coming. Now the medevac's about to finish. There is a Widow Mine on the field. We have the tech lab being built on the factory, so looks like he wants to get a bit of a transition with this barracks production, so he's going to try to just get up his stim pack upgrades going. Now he has 2 mines. He's going to load these up with just 3 Marines actually, and try to go for a bit of drop play against EGiNcontrol, and he's actually going to go in right as this Observer reaches TvP's base. So he spots this, Theo running a Marine out, trying to check for any units outside the front of his base. He doesn't want to get caught off guard by any 2-base gateway aggression. At the same time, robotics base starting for EGiNcontrol, so he's looking to move into possible Colossi tech. We'll have to see whether or not he wants to get the range upgrade, though. He could go for double forge with this, or he could just go for a 2-base Colossus timing, so he has a good number of options. But now the medevac reaching EGiNcontrol's base for TvP's. He's going to immediately pull back. There is an Observer here with these 3 Stalkers. It can shut down the mines very quickly, and of course the 3 Stalkers do very well against 3 Marines, so good decision to pull back from TvP's. The barracks are complete to move on to these tech labs. He used the factory to build a reactor for the starport as well. So TvP's is going to transition to a pretty standard bio composition out of this opening. So should be interesting to see where he does end up going with this. Now, Stimpack is going to start in combat shields. He has his +1 coming in, has a gas that is natural. A little bit of oversaturation here. Actually has 5 SCVs instead of 3. So tiny bit of a misstep, not a huge deal, and TvP's just trying to see what he can see. He doesn't know anything about the tech of EGiNcontrol, so he has to be very careful about running into any kind of trap that's being set. The Observers will see if anything leaves the main base. He has a proxy pylon at the 3rd base for TvP's. Be very difficult for him to take a 3rd without EGiNcontrol knowing. Pulls back the Stalker, taking a couple of pot shots. Widow Mine just going to walk right into that main base. Tries to burrow. Oh, will get shut down before it can complete. The probe's pulled from EGiNcontrol, though. He's being a little bit cautious. Doesn't want to lose anything to them. Actually procs the Photon Overcharge as well on the Nexus. So definitely burns a couple of the resources of EGiNcontrol by going for that Widow Mine play, but he's going to go for the double forge follow-up to this Colossi play. He is getting Colossi range, though, so EGiNcontrol is going to have the option to be aggressive. He's going to have some really good defensive options as well to deal with any stim timings from TvP's. The one negative to doing the Widow Mine expand with the medevac is that it just delays your tech significantly. The stim isn't going to be completed until about the 12-minute mark, so medevac's coming out now for TvP's. He's going to step forward. The Observer sees everything leaving the base. He needs to be very careful, and EGiNcontrol has a perfect opportunity to respond to this. He's going to continue to put out his 2nd Colossus. No Chrono Boost on that just yet. With 1 Colossus, he should be fine to deal with this, with a couple of good force fields as well as that Photon Overcharge. So Zealot's in position for EGiNcontrol. He has his units spread out pretty well. There's still a mine at this 3rd base, but EGiNcontrol's Observer sees this, and well, he knows the army is coming. The real question is how well is he going to prepare for this. He's building 2 Photon Cannons in the main base to defend against a possible drop or Widow Mine play later on, and actually 1 in the natural as well. So TvP's is getting poised to attack. He's bringing 1 medevac over towards the east side, possibly trying to drop that natural expansion while he pushes the front with his main force, but it gets spotted by this proxy pylon. EGiNcontrol in a perfect position to deal with this, has the Photon Cannon placed, and the Observer sees the rest of these forces moving out over towards the 3rd base as well, but there's a proxy pylon. EGiNcontrol can warp in Zealots and actually start to harass these SCVs. He's going to stim to kill that pylon. Really doesn't want any big warp-ins to come in there, and TvP's is just putting on the pressure, so he's not going for any kind of big frontal push. What he wants to do is delay a 3rd base as long as possible. Get up a big economic advantage by having his 3rd now. He's dropping the mules, taking the gas. We see his transition. He's getting an additional starport, getting his upgrades going. Has that +1 attack, +1 armor is on the way. No armory or 2nd engineering bay yet, though, for TvP's, so the double forge play could work out really well for EGiNcontrol. He's moving out now. Has 2 Colossi with his main force. A 3rd Colossus is complete. Now he's going to step forward to take this 3rd base, pushes this medevac aside, almost gets a free kill on that. Going to start to push away this factory, and that will die. TvP's will have his armory and engineering bay going, though, so with the 2nd starport, he's not going to miss out on any tech because of this factory dying, but EGiNcontrol taking his 3rd base at the 1330 mark, so a little bit of an economic advantage for TvP's. Looking at the worker count, we have 69 SCVs versus 59 probes with 3 mules. That's a pretty significant economic lead for TvP. His supply is showing that lead. The question is, can he deal with this force? Looking at his actual army composition, he does have 4 Vikings. He's going to have another 4 very shortly. That fast second starport really paying off for him. He actually has 2 more Vikings at his third base. Now, guys, it takes 8 Vikings, 2 shots to kill a Colossus, so regardless of upgrades. So it's very, very important that TvP get his count up. And with these 4 Vikings coming out now, he's going to have more than enough to 2-shot the Colossi. There's not a crazy amount of anti-air. He has a lot of Stalkers, but the problem is they don't meet shield very well for the Marines and Marauder forces that are going to come barreling through very soon. So InControl going down for a Dark Shrine, starting his 2-2 upgrades. Now he's on even upgrades with TvP, which is going to favor our Terran player. Just due to how much DPS Bioforces can put out. He's moving in now towards that third base. This is going to be huge for InControl to try to defend this. Colossi taking a couple of shots. The Vikings immediately take out 1 Colossus. He's stepping forward, bringing the Bios. He's trying to split it away from the ramp. Good force field, pick off a couple of these. The Stalker's taking some shots at the Vikings. He's going to pick off the Mothership Core. Great catch there for TvP. And he still has the drop, but he can't do too much with it because of the low hit points on that medevac. So InControl manages to only lose 1 Colossus in that fight. He still doesn't have many Zealots to take. He's now going to warp it a good round of them, but does a bit of damage to the Viking count as well. TvP is down to 6 of them from the about 10 or 12 he had before. So with 2-2 about to finish for InControl, he's going to be in a pretty solid position to deal with the army of TvP. He just needs to make sure he doesn't spread himself too thin. Otherwise, he could be picked apart with drops, as well as just really, really good splitting and engaging in open areas. So TvP bringing out more of his forces. It looks like he wants to pressure towards the top, but knowing that there's no base there, he wants to hurt the economy of InControl, not try to snipe any buildings. So Observer for InControl does see the army positioning now. He wants to keep tabs on where this army is at all times, but TvP has replenished that Viking count. He can once again very, very quickly DPS down these Colossi. InControl has not yet made his Archon or Templar switch, and now there's such a huge force moving in for TvP. He may not have enough to deal with this. Another Colossus comes into the battle at the very end. The Vikings not able to get to it in time, but the Bio take it down a bit, no problem. And TvP stepping forward, landing the Vikings, bringing up, and InControl just doesn't have enough. He lost a ton of units earlier on, trying to replace them with so many Stalkers. He was so delayed on his tech, and the Bioforce is stepping backwards. The Force was not doing too much medevacs healing. 2-2 is done for InControl, but TvP is about to complete as well, and TvP may be able to pressure down this base. InControl dropping below 100 supply. TvP now moving in, taking out the Pylon, fighting against these Zealots. Of course, the concussive shell slowing them down. The charge upgrade is not complete. The Stalkers can't do too much versus this Marauder count, and it looks like InControl is going to have to forfeit this third base unless he can make a miracle happen very shortly. He's trying to get out a Colossus, but is it going to be enough at this point? The probes are being pulled, and he's going to be able to take out everything at this third base. Probes dying left and right. More Stalkers warped in. Blinks back, trying to hide behind the Photon Cannon, but he doesn't have anything to defend this Nexus with. He's going to scan what looks like that. I guess it was his main base. The Dark Templar possibly warped in, but now he's going to be pulling it back, and well, it looks like he's in a pretty rough spot. InControl was able to do a tiny bit of damage with his Dark Templar. He killed a good number of workers, it looks like, but at this point, TvP economy just looking so much more powerful. He has a 4th command center. He knows about the Dark Templar. He's in a great position to defend against them. And InControl, he's going to try to possibly do a little bit more harass with them. No, he's just going to mix them into his army, make them Archons. He has charge now, so the Zealots are going to be a bit beefier, but losing that third base, he doesn't actually have enough money to retake it, so he's in a very, very difficult position to deal with this. And now, with such a huge medevac count, TvP doesn't even need Vikings to fight through this force anymore. He just has so much raw DPS and healing power. There's just not enough charge lots to hold this off. So TvP coming in now. He's going to step up the Archon, immediately obliterated. He's going to run some of these Marines forward to try to pick off the Colossus, but there's just going to be the GG from InControl. So great play from TvP. Really just strong macro, and got a great engagement with that double starport, and just delaying the third base as much as he could, moving in to that double reactor starport, as I said before, and just blowing away the Colossi. And InControl just didn't have a tech switch into Storm prepared. Going for the Dark Templar was a slightly interesting choice. He did some economic damage, but unfortunately, the best way to kill a Terran player is not through killing their economy. So TvP was able to recover pretty well. And yeah, that's all. Hopefully you guys like this cast. Please subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate any comments in the chat below. And I'm going to try to put out more daily casts for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. This has been ROOT.Theognis, signing off.